Okay, so we just had our 11 p.m. advisory for Hurricane Dorian, and it is intensified to a Category 4. So as predicted, well, actually faster than predicted, it's up to a Category 4, 140 mile per hour winds. Pressure's dropped 948 millibars. And the forecast track has shifted again a little bit to the east. So we're seeing a good trend here. This is what we want to see. For anybody who lives in Florida that is terrified, listen, don't be scared. I'm telling you, even if the storm does hit the peninsula, it will be a lot of wind, it'll be a lot of rain, but you're prepared, you're not going to get hurt, you're not going to die. So just calm down, everybody. It's coming, but I think that this one is going to skirt the coast, like I've been saying, and you know, we're gonna get some epic surfing waves. So everybody just prepare. When I say prepare, evacuate if they tell you to evacuate. Storm surge is going to be massive. If this thing hugs the coast, there's going to be a lot of good storm surge going there. But otherwise, just hang tight. Just prepare. Put your shutters up just in case. Not a big deal, but I think this one is going to ride the coast. I don't think this one's gonna nail us. So fingers crossed. Cat 4, probably gonna be a Cat 5 tomorrow. We'll see. But that doesn't really mean much. A Cat 4 or a Cat 5 hits us, it would be pretty bad. Either way, looking good. This is a lot better than it was. You can see the turn is in full effect now. And 75% of the models are putting this offshore right now. So the storm has slowed down a little bit, allowing it to curve up. More tomorrow. Okay, here's the latest. It's now Saturday. This thing is churning out there still, now up to 150 miles per hour. And they're expecting a slow decrease in strength. I don't know if that's going to happen. It's going to hit the Bahamas, yes, so there's a tiny bit of land interaction, but that water is so hot right there, I really doubt that it's going to lose much intensity if it rolls over it. But the big story is the track shifts east. Florida's still at risk, it says. Okay, yeah, well, Florida's a pretty big state. The north part of Florida, I think, if anybody, but honestly, if that pressure system stays east, that storm will just cruise right by it. So that's good news for us down here. That's not so good news for the guys up in South Carolina, Georgia, North Carolina even. We'll see if it stays offshore. That would be a best case scenario. We're gonna get some waves for sure. Waves still suck, but they are gonna get better. As the storm cruises by, we'll get the back end of the storm, which is gonna give us offshore winds and a nice solid groundswell. That's what we're looking for. So big surf on the way, but for now, South Florida at least is pretty clear, pretty close to clear. I want to say something. You know, I do trivialize the idea that these storms are a joke and or a dud or whatever. Yes, I'm not worried. But these storms are dangerous and they do impact other people. If just because I'm talking about it doesn't mean that these people, these wonderful people in Bahamas, are not going to get obliterated. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. Obviously, I'm not meaning to offend anybody, but the truth of the matter is I don't like the way that the media hypes the storms up. They just make everybody completely terrified, and then they overreact. So people, yes, prepare, don't panic. There's a difference between preparation and panic, and that makes all the difference for the rest of us. Because if you're panicking and you're going to the gas station, I went to the gas station the other night. If you're going to the gas station with a trailer full of 5-gallon jugs to just fill up your truck, fill everything you have up with gas, and just hoard the gas, or you're going to the store and buying 20 cases of water, you're not leaving any for the rest of us who need it as well. And I'm not saying we all need 20 cases and 5-gallon jugs everywhere, but if we are mindful of our neighbors and mindful of the community, we can all get through stuff like this, even if it is a direct hit, and we don't have to panic and create hysteria for nothing. And I blame the media for that because of the way they present these stories way before they know what's happening, clearly. Okay, here we are. We are on Sunday now, Sunday morning, and this storm has intensified to a Category 5, but 180 miles per hour. Pressure dropped 913. That's bad, not gonna lie. That's a very intense. I think this is the strongest hurricane on record at this point. Big, nasty, really nasty. Hurricane Hunter said that there was winds over 200 miles per hour. That's an EF3 tornado. So just to give you an idea, and that's a really slow moving. There is one silver lining to all this, and that is it did slow down 1 mile per hour. It didn't slow down overnight though. So that caused a slight shift in all of the models westward. The majority of the models are still showing it to be offshore. I'm still going by that. I think that that's a fair assessment considering what's happening. Good sign, it slowed down 1 mile per hour. If it slows down another mile per hour, that's gonna give it the chance to make that turn on time and miss us all together. If it doesn't slow down, I'm wrong, and I'll just have to eat all my words and we're just gonna have some hurricane stuff. But regardless of that, if this storm even does make it to landfall, the big story is gonna be the water. I don't even think the wind is really as much of an issue as they're making it out to be, even though it is huge. The water is massive. The amount of energy that this storm is containing is far beyond comprehension right now, for me at least. So that's the big story. Still looking for that hook north though. So let's all keep our fingers crossed that that happens tonight. I'm really banking on it. Other than that, there's really nothing else to worry about. So if you live in that area, in the coastal areas, I mean like really coastal regions, in these evacuation zones, I would definitely consider at least taking precautions to get out if you need to. Because this is a monster. Look at that. This thing is just passing into Marsh Harbor right now. I'm really interested to see if they can get any data out of that, because that's going to be a telltale. That eye is nasty. Look at the lightning too, huh? You don't want to be in that. You do not want to be in that. I've been in the eye of one hurricane, and I remember it was, I think it was Gordon or one of those. I can't remember. It crossed across the state, but it was really strange. It's like it was like sunny in the middle of this storm, and then it got real quiet, and then the storm came back like an hour later. So really strange. But yeah, big storm, big power. This is a real HP Logic approved storm, I'll tell you what. That's a monster. All right, another update. It is about 4:00 p.m. on Sunday, and the hurricane is in the Bahamas. It is moving west, and look at that pressure, 910. And the wind speed now is at 185 miles an hour. So this is the second strongest, I was corrected, the second strongest storm on record. Oh, there's a comparison with Matthew. That'd be an interesting comparo once it gets moving along the coast. It did already make a tick in a northerly fashion, so I think the turn is starting now, which is great. But look at that, huh? 185 miles an hour, and there was measured over 200 mile per hour winds. So again, if I didn't say it before, it's like an EF3 tornado, and it's a hurricane. So what a strong one. I'd really be interested to see if this thing can get any stronger. Dropped a mile an hour, which is good. So it is definitely going to be making that turn. But that is an impressive storm. Okay, so we've got some waves. This this is Hurricane Dorian sending us some good stuff, so I figured we'd go out here and just see what we got. It's gonna be really good after the hurricane, like Wednesday, because then the winds are gonna be offshore, and that's gonna give us a good punch. But right now we're looking at like 3 to 4, maybe some sets are a little bigger. You can see way down there, they're breaking on the big end, so those have to be about 4 or 5. But these are probably 3 to 4 on sets. I'm gonna get out there and see if we can't get something. Carla swears that all she needs to surf is really waves, right?
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
we'll see if she can come through. All right, we're out here. Waves are a little bit sloppy. Not that long. Like 3 to 4. Be able to get anything out here right now. Might have to go in a little bit, but there are other people out here with us. Yeah, the surf is not bad, I'm not going to complain. It's just not great. Too choppy, she says. Okay, so pretty mushy. We both caught a couple of waves. I couldn't really film much, but we're gonna come back on Wednesday when it's gonna clean up a lot. We'll get some good waves then.